Hello, hello, hello. It's Anne Lewis, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. I teach card making and scrapbooking and love sharing my passion with you. Thanks so much for joining me today, whether it's on replay or whether it's on live. In this step-by-step video, I will be sharing some of my favourite techniques, tips and tricks to make your card making even more fun. Each of the products featured is available from my online store. With the link will be available in the actually in the banner. I think both these projects tonight you would be able to use some products from your own stash, which is a really great initiative because then you're using what you already have. Now, if you enjoy this live stream, please let me know by liking my live and sharing it with your crafty friends. If you want to see more, please subscribe to either my Facebook page and or my YouTube channel. So let's see and let's get started. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Hi-yo, I'm going to get going. Now, these are, well, actually, what I'm showcasing tonight. Oh, wait a minute, I should show you me. Yes, I'm here. I forgot to turn that around. Now, I'll put you back onto my desk. Now, what I'm showcasing is this really simple stamp set, but I really like it. And as I said, it's simple. It comes with a set of dies, and I'll talk you through the dies in a second. As you see, it has two sentiments, which I love these fonts that are so simple as this one is. So it's got some hollies. It's got this really nice leaf pattern, which I have used on this card. Now, I don't intend to show you this how to make this card, but I will walk you through it really quickly so that if you do wish to make this card, you would then know how to. This is like a little berry die, and you get 4 berries in each of the dies. You've got the word pull here, and I will show you later how that why it actually has that. And then it has these 2 ornaments that are different but gorgeous. Now, it comes with dies. Now, some of the dies, I'll just shift this over. Where we got? We've got comments here somewhere which aren't showing up. Hi, Wendy. How are you? Hi, Gail. Hi, Glenda. Hi. So this is the dies. Now, so it has this, which is great for the sentiment. But to be honest, I find it a little fiddly. So I go up one. Up to a bigger one from another set. It has this, which is a little hanger. Have I got a little hanger here somewhere? Haven't used the hanger. I'm hoping. Wait a minute. Where's a piece of cardstock? So hopefully you can see that. It's a little fiddly, but you could use it. I had to cut out. Sorry. If I had to use all those little hangers today, I've cut out so many of these ornaments, I would have gone insane. So these are well, actually there's 2. Well, I think I don't actually know. I just assumed this was a holly die, but it may not be. So I haven't cut it out, but these are the 2 holly dies that I used. I've cut a few of those out. This is the little gold piece here that you can, wait a minute, let's get that in the bright light, that I've cut out. So they're a little fiddly but easy to use. These are the berries. So they're tiny, but there's 2 sets of those. And that's the die. Now this die comes, I'll just grab a pokey tool. This die comes, and it's going to be a little hard to see, but it's got these little notches in it, which keeps, and I'll show you this later, which keeps the actual die cut from completely cutting around, and you'll see the purpose of that, and I'll show you now because it's actually in the catalogue. So this is on page 44 of the new mini holiday Christmas catalogue. So it's this here. So this piece stays in until you pull it up, which is why you use the word pull. I'm just going to show you. Hopefully you can see that. So you can stamp it underneath, and then you can pull up this top layer. So it's cute. Now, to be honest, it wasn't the bit that appealed to me, and so I'm not using that feature tonight. I love using this stamp on the base, but I'm not using that feature either. So there's some really good samples in the catalogue. Now, I'm going to throw this back because I've done, I think, all the die cutting, because there was a lot of die cutting and I didn't want to bore you. I like these to be, I know it doesn't always feel like that, as quick and easy as they possibly can. Now these, I'll just put it on this sheet. They're the little berries that it will cut out. So I've done that in foil paper, red foil, but I'm not using those. I decided to go with a different product, as you will see. Now I'll walk you through. So this is, I'm going to be making this card, and I think I'm going to call it a mystery card, because I've been doing a few mystery cards, which is the second card on display. Now this one is just stamped, so I haven't used the die cut. Hi Carol, and second Glenda, but I've stamped this in Night of Navy, Wild Wheat, Blackberry Bliss, and Pretty Peacock, and so Night of Navy. Now this card is a slimline card. For me to make slimline cards really simple, I keep them at 8 inches by 8 inches, and I score at 4 inches, and it will fit into a business size envelope. So not a special envelope, you don't have to make it. You can just go and buy a pack of business envelopes from perhaps Officeworks. Now I'm not employed by them, but that way you've got an envelope that makes it really simple. Now, this was the second card that I made. This time I've just die cut some designer series paper, which I think is, what's it called? Winter, I think, a Regal Winter. It's got really pretty pinks, pretty deep colours. Now, I set samples of this with my catalogues, with a few other designer series paper options as well. Everybody loved this. So you can see it's pretty. So all I've done is die cut, added a matching, I don't even know what you would call that, but I'm going to say an ornament topper. I popped up one, but I really wish I had popped up all of these, but I just popped up one. I've added the plaid embossing folder, 3D embossing folder, and then so I've got a really nice thank you card, which is now we've got this. I've only just saw it. It's in the annual catalogue, My Small Business, but when I look at it, it is a great thank you for so many things. I love the many thank yous. I love you. Your support deserves a big thank you, because lots of times in life we get that as well. But also, if you've got a business, it is the perfect thank you if you want to make some handmade cards for it. Rightio. So you've got a background of what we're doing today. Well, I'm not sure which one I will do. Let's do this one first. Pretty easy. Got most of it cut out, but I do have, I'm going to have to stand up for this, some paper that I want to show you, because I've been saying on Facebook and in my newsletter that Stampin' Up is back into scrapbooking, and I'm pretty excited about that. And I've got some special papers that you will really love that showcases its return to scrapbooking. Now, let's pull my card out. So this is the card base. So it's 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to score it at 4 1/8. Get this around the right way. Now, I always score it just to make that score line look a little more professional. Now, I'll grab a bone folder. I always then make sure that my two corners are together. Place it down on the table and just reinforce that fold. So there's my card base, which is basic white. Then I've already done this piece as well. Now I've added a embossed piece. Now this I embossed with the So Swirly embossing folder, which is from the annual catalogue, as you can see. I'll throw that back in there. And you can see it's a little warped, and I'll explain the why. And I wanted to keep it like this. The first one I didn't do this to, but there was a downside to that. So I'll show you what the paper is. It's actually our new two-tone, where is it? Two-tone real red. Now we've got a range of colours. It's not the full range yet. Now this is not like our normal cardstock. It's 12 by 12. It is slightly lighter, and it has two features. Comes with two colours. So I'll turn this back, and I'm hoping you can see that difference. So great for contrasting, layering. It also has this shiny finish to it, unlike our cardstock. But what that does mean, if you're like me and sometimes have greasy fingers, you will leave finger marks on it. So just make sure you've either got a towel there or something to wash your hands with. Now, what also, and I'll show you, have I got a piece here? I do have a piece here. Now, the special thing is about this is you won't be able to see this yet, but it's got white core as well. So perfect for scrapbooking. I've wasted a lot of paper there. Anyway, so two-tone plus a white core. So if you rip it like that, if you want like a ripped edge, you get that lovely white core finish. So I love that. That's not going to be much use to me, but what I wanted to do when I put it through the embossing folder, and this is just something to be aware of, and this is quite a detailed embossing folder, some of that white core, and I'm not sure you're going to be able to see this, you might just be able to see it, just started to crack a little bit. Now, the way we stop paper cracking when we put it through an embossing folder is actually by lightly spraying it with some water. So that's what I did here, and hence why it's a little warped. But that's not a problem, because I'm going to stick this down with lots of glue, and that'll keep it nice and straight. So I'll just use my bone folder to straighten it out. Now, I probably added smidgen too much water, I've got to be honest. Now, the side's the pinky side, that's the red side, so I want the red side up, the pure real red. Oh, don't tell me there's none left. I don't know. That doesn't want to come out. It might be finished. Lucky I have about 10 others on my desk. Now, still got a catalogue launch on this Sunday, and I still have a couple of vacancies. So if you're based on the Sunshine Coast or close to the Sunshine Coast, so you can see I'm putting this all the way around. Now, if I get too much glue in one spot, I just spread it out a little bit so it doesn't squish out. Then I'm going to make sure I add a bit of glue on the inside because I want this nice and straight. Of course, it's liquid glue. It'll let me slide this around a little bit so it's the right size. Now, sometimes when you put paper through an embossing folder, because all of a sudden it adds all those layers. So this is how you get it nice and flat. Is just keep working it with your bone folder. Now it's perfect. Just got a little bit there. So I've squished all that out. Now, what I was saying is when you run paper through an embossing folder and you add all these concaves, it will kind of take up a bit of space because all of a sudden it's got some mountains in it. So I will just grab my trimmer and trim that last little bit off. So always remember that, because some people say, I can never get my top layer even though it's exactly the same size to work. And this is one of the reasons. Now there's been a few yeah, see, now it's perfect. Got it. Now, so I've got, where's my little envelope of goodies? Hopefully they're all in here. I stuck a little bit. So I did do a little bit of sticking to make it easier. Now before I move on, I wanted to use an envelope. Did that one come out? Got one left in here. No, that's it. Hold out. So I've screwed this up a little bit. But so I've put my embossing folder on the flap to make that decorative finish, which is really, really cute and so easy. Costs nothing else other than the cost of the embossing folder, and it just adds a little bit of wow. So I'll put that envelope away to the side and let's get started. So all I've done is die cut these little ornaments out of designer series paper, and I've used I've been showing this a fair bit, some of the a little bit festive. Wait a minute, where's all my paper? Here's my paper. I've been using this a fair bit because it comes with all those little die cuts, which I've removed. It comes with these 3 papers, which is what I've used today. So you can see I've used those for the ornaments. They're perfect for the ornaments. Also comes with these die cut layers, which I have yet to use, but I'm going to very soon. So that's the paper I've used. I've got 2. I like this paper so much I bought actually 2 packs of it. All right, so all I did was using the ornament die is I have die cut these, and that, you know, that little strip of design die that I showed you here that I said was a little small to actually stamp the sentiment in, that piece, all I did was cut a strip of that in contrasting so I could swizzle up these little ornaments a little bit. Now, I had to put all these little gold, I'm hoping, can you see that? Little gold bits on, otherwise I would have lost them. So now all I have to arrange, I'll bring it, well, you can see it over here. So I just stuck this down with a little bit of old washi tape. So I wanted to show you all I did. What side? No, we're using this one. Is this fits this size circle perfectly, and you know you've got it in the right spot when it goes edge to edge. So I'll grab some of my a lot of things are popping up. Now, don't forget I've got a mystery card, and it's kind of the stepped up version. Not of this, of a completely different way of using those dies with lots of layers. So it's got a little bit of luxury. So this might take, well, it doesn't take very long, but so you can see how easy that was. Now I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of it. You can see that this is a really, really easy card design. Righto. So this is what I would call the, can I say, the best design on my, out of that designer series paper. So I'm going to put that in a key spot. I don't want them all facing the same direction. So I want them, you know, all in different directions. And I also want that, how am I gonna, I also want that they're not in a line. So see how that's kind of in a square? I don't want that. So I have to shift these around. So one to the right edge, one in, one down, and then one over. As I said, and I want these, need one upside down. So that one will be that one. Maybe like that. I know. So all I have to do is remove these dimensionals that I did before. It's a bit slow watching people put dimensionals on, but this card looks so much better when everything's popped up. It doesn't take too long, this card, once you do your die cutting. And do you need that gold piece? Yeah, maybe not, but I liked it a little better with the gold on it. And what I did, filled in on the, I'll show you that first card that I showed you that I just stamped, doesn't have any dies going on it. Having that contrast as I'm now calling it, a die topper, is a little more interesting. Now I've got these little holly leaves, so I'm going to put two together. Now the interesting thing about these holly leaves is they actually fold really easy. So if you wanted to have them 3D, which I don't, you easily could. Now there's a long pointy side and a less pointy side, so I'm going to put my two pointy sides together and, you know me, use that technical term, shove them down, adhere them gently down. So I'll just arrange these. Got one spare set. Ooh, I'm going to be a little short, so I'm going to have to change my design up a little bit. I might have to. This is why you always. I was going to put these in pairs, but I don't know that how I've put these little ornaments down, that's not actually going to work. So I've got them loose and just set on the background, but let's see if I can change that up. I don't like that. What's everybody saying to me? I haven't read. I'm hoping that, I don't know. So let's go back and see. I may not just get as many. So I want this one like that. I'll have to make some decisions on the run. So a little bit of a little bit of a glue. Whoops. As with all our dies, there's a right side and a wrong side. I'm going to change that up a little bit. Then I've got these cute, what are they called? They're online exclusive cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive backed berries. So these are only available online. If I could open this pack, there it is. And you'll see I've used lots of these. And they all pop up, and I just put that there, which just finishes that off nicely. Now, before I finish planning on this, you can see how quick this card was. All these little berries that I cut. I've got just for you, because I'm trying to do some, not everything Christmas at the moment. I've got lots of other cards to send, so I'm trying to be a little more versatile with my sentiments. And not everybody is big into Christmas like I am. Now, when I'm stamping white and it's on such a small piece, I'm going to grab a coloured, look at that green piece that I was parading around on before. I'll just clear my desk a little bit. I'll put it on a coloured piece so that white really stands clear and I can then see what I'm stamping. So always a little hard for me to get these straight because I'm nowhere near. Oops. So I'm nowhere near. I might have to do that again. I'm nowhere, nope, nowhere near sitting over the top of it. I'll just bring that down so you can see it a little better, even if I can't. Right. Let's see how that one goes. That's a little better. I don't know. So then I'm just going to pop that there and add some more berries. I've got some berries here. Let's clean that out. It doesn't get in the way. And I might just put these berries down here. So I'll pop this up. There's a fair few dimensionals going on here. I don't think these will fit, actually. No. Let's get some mini dimensionals. Lucky they give me two sides of a sentiment. So I'm just going to put that down the bottom. Add, what's another one here? Here we go. Add that like that. That looks better than what I was going to do before. Sometimes we've just got to fiddle, especially when it doesn't go originally to plan. And then this card, I won't put a sentiment on the inside because I'm not sure exactly who's it going to. Let's just slide that up just a bit. Grab another lot of these little berries and see what my favourite ones are. And there's the card. So a really simple card that you could use whatever designer series paper that you have in your stash. Now, just say, I know it's hard to believe that you don't have a hang and ornament bundle or the dies. You can actually use the circle. It would just work as well, or an oval. There's lots of different shapes that this would actually work with. So sometimes we've got to think out of the box. Okay, so there's my card. As you see, it's a little different than the first one. Oh, we don't need that little one there. Yeah, I've got ink all over my fingers. You're used to that now. I don't know. So as you see, it's completely different. But every card, that's why we always say handmade cards are different. Now I'm going to show you card number 2. So let's put that noise like that, Gail. Are they on sale? What are we talking about there? Give me a hint, Carol. Are what on sale? Now, let's get card number 2. Whoops. It's got a few more, lots more layers. I don't think it's going to take much longer to make. So again, I've got a card base, this time in Real Red, and it's just our normal cardstock. I've done it in what I call a portrait cut. So it's 11 inches by 4 1/8 inches. And I've added a whole lot of layers to this. Now, I've just got to work this out. So I've added a garden green layer. So this is 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Then I've added a white layer. And I'll put this together in a second. And I'm going to emboss that. Then I've got these 2 other layers. Now I've already die cut this. And this is what I was talking about before. Because I've die cut this, you can see that it's die cut. But it's got these little tabs that hold it into place. Now I don't want this held into place. I want this to pop out. I can use this ornament. And see, it pops out pretty easy. I can use this ornament for another card. And then this is how this is going to work. So I'm going to grab, before I get too carried away, I'm going to grab my embossing folder. And this time I'm using the plaid embossing folder, which you'll see how that works. I've got, now there is a hint with the plaid embossing folder. Make sure you get it lined up with those lines, because I can tell you it doesn't, looks a bit tacky. How do I know that, do you think? Because I obviously didn't pay enough attention. Now, the good thing about this embossing folder is it's super large. It's 6 1/2 inches by 8 inches. So I can do, oops, that's not the one I want. I can do both pieces at one time. Except I want that one to be around this way. So you always know which is the right side or the correct side, top side of an embossing folder, because it's the one with the Stampin' Up label on it. So I've just moved that a little, flipping that over. And I think that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to grab my cut and emboss machine. Oh, dimensional. Ha, ha, ha. Everybody has a go with how many dimensionals I use. I should have got that, because it's not the first time that I may have used too many. Well, I won't say too many, but as I keep saying, I'm supporting my business. You probably could cull a few of these. Now, this is not a 3D. I need to double check this. I can't remember what I put through before. This time I've got my platform. Then I've added my really old, which I do have a newer one here. Let's put a newer one on, which will look so much better. So plate 1, plate 2, there's the 2. Then I'm just going to add the embossing folder. I may not need that second plate, actually. I'm sure I don't. So I just need the platform. Sorry, please go on the floor. Put this in. And if it is too loose, I'll just add that thin die adapter. I think that will be fine. Let's get rid of that. Pull this apart. Now this is the plate 4. Comes with your cut and emboss. So I'm just going to open this up and you'll see how gorgeous this plaid embossing folder is. Okay, so I'll get rid of it. Just need to make a bit of room. I'm clearing up my desk. Oh, I did something wrong. Darn. Oh well, those things happen. I don't. So I can assemble this card like the first couple of layers. So I'll do that just whilst I curse myself for going about this the wrong way. And I'll show you what I was going to do. So I really like this little stamp set that I have from another stamp set. Now, I think I may have just exposed myself to some more jokes about how much glue I just used. So I'm going to put that there. Not going to pop it up. I've been caught by the post office lately where they haven't sent some of my cards through because I've had too many dimensionals. So I'm being a little careful. Now I'll show you. So this is, you'll see, I've got the garden green, real red, and the basic white, which is embossed. So you can see how nice that embossing is. Now, my next step, what I was going to do, and I've got it sitting here, waiting to use it. Where is it? My favourite. That's not going to work. Now, this is the right side, but I will show you what it would look like on the wrong side. So, where's my red? I meant to stamp this first. I jumped ahead a little quick. So this comes from the Decorative Trees bundle, which I've been showcasing lately. I've got my real red. Now I could do this in black if I wanted to, but let's just keep it in real red. Now, so it would have been this cute little bow. Look at that. But I've already embossed it, so that's not going to work. But I will show you what happens in case you don't know why you can't emboss first. I can nearly get away with this, but it's not going to work. See how it doesn't, when you stamp it, it doesn't do a really nice stamp over all those ridges, right? And it would be even worse on this side because the ridges are even a little bigger. Just, sorry, I've got a little bit of ink on my, so it would have looked like that and it would have looked gorgeous. Now, my next trick is I want to line this up because I'm going to be stamping in there. So I've cut 2 pieces exactly the same, and my 2 pieces are 2.5 inches, I know that, by, oops, they're running together a little bit, by 4 3/8. So all I'm going to do here is line these up. This is how I'm going to line up that window, because I want to stamp on this piece here. I'm just going to really lightly, oops, draw a pencil line really, really lightly. So there's my pencil line, so I can just see what I've got to stamp within. So I'll grab my stamp here, which I'm using. Which one have I got? This one here. So let's, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, it hasn't marked. So I'll ink it up well. And again, I've got to line this up as best I can. And as you know, I can't really see, so it's a bit of a guess. There we go. That's lined up pretty well. Then I'm going to add the sentiment. This time I'm going to use All is Merry. So I'm going to stamp that in the middle. Yeah. Then what will happen, I'm not even sure I'm going to have to. Rub that out, but I will. But I don't want to rub it out too soon, because as we know, I've got a rubber here somewhere. Red is pretty intense, and it takes a couple of secs longer than some of our other colours. So let's not ruin that yet. I'm going to pop this up by some dimensionals. Now everybody can laugh at me again. Lucky. Just making sure which is the right side. This is the right side, so I've got to put it on this side. Would have looked lovely with that little bow hanging down. Anyway, we missed that. Now, to support something like this, you are going to have to go round the circle. You are going to tease me here. You're going to have to go round the circle as well, because you don't want that centre circle collapsing in on you. Now, I could use some foam strips if I wanted to, but these are easier to use. Okay. Hi, Myrtle. Yep. Get rid of those few. Oh, I think I need one more. See, I am supporting my business on this one. So we'll pop this up. Now, what makes this card special is actually all the layers. Adds that richness to it. So sometimes we want something that's a little more special. Sometimes we want quick and easy, and I've been doing, who caught my 5-minute craft quickie. I keep leaving out the word craft, which gets me into trouble. Craft quickie, which is really hard to say. I've done 2 of those in the last week, and I'll keep doing them just to cover short, easy. Where's all these? I've got one left here. I think I've got, that's it. So now, before I put this on, I'm just going to rub that out so nobody can see it. And I've got one other step, which is one of those tips and tricks. Now, I could have added, die cut one of those gold ornament toppers, But instead of that, and it's somehow walked. How could it walk? Because I'm looking at the wrong box. I'm going to grab the wild wheat, and it kind of turns into a gold finish. Now you can see how that looks now. You watch what happens when I add. I just fill this in and make it pop a little bit. Now I'm only using a marking pen, so there's no great colouring. And then I'll just use the fine end. This is one of our new versions of marking pens. I know. So all I have to do is make sure this is up the right way. So I've got my sentiment there for the card. Line this up. Really wish if I didn't have so many lights. Oh, there we go. How gorgeous is that? Then we're going to pop that and get rid of that. I'm not going to pop it up anymore. I'll just glue this straight in. You just see it's just using nothing really flash ingredients. Didn't even need any designer series paper. And most embossing folders would work here. I just kind of feel like I've got to pop that up again, but I'm not. Post offices. I think because they machine sort. And then we just go like that. I'll grab my bone folder and gently do that. So there's the card, and you can see it turns out really nice, and it's such a simple card with a few layers. That's probably a way. And it was really easy to line that up, and it works really well. I'm just going to show you the difference. Where's my pokey tool? That just colouring that with a bit of gold makes. I could have coloured it with red, but I like the wild wheat because it does give a bit of a gold finish. Yeah, I'm not going to put anything on the inside. I would add just a white layer on the inside, and it may end up being a thank you card. Who knows? So these are my cards for tonight. Wasn't a long session. So I had a fair bit of the work done, but they're lovely Christmas cards. They're bright, they're clean, they're crisp, and these are the other two using what I would call winter colours. I'll just put that a little out of the way. So this is all stamped, so it's got, other than it's got the layers coming up, so it's got Night of Navy, Wild Wheat, and this one has Blackberry Bliss, Wild Wheat. Then it has the basic white embossed with the plaid embossing folder, and the 3 die cut Regal Winter Designer Series paper. So you have 4 cards to choose from. Which ones would you make, if any of them? Or if you wouldn't make any of them, which one do you like the most, and do you think I should do as part of a class? So leave a comment. So Carol likes that. Love that card too. It's lovely. Thank you for the lovely feedback. If you are watching, leave some feedback so that I know you've dropped by, and I just know that I do appreciate it. The more comments I get, the more that Facebook and YouTube share my video with more crafters. And I want to get the word out there how much fun card making actually is. So let's see. Love the cards. 2 and 3. Also those 2. Oh yeah. I would have a go at all of them. Thank you. I love the last one you made. Thank you. Ideo. Well, thanks everybody. And that one you can make just with a plain circle. So if you've got circle dies, you don't need anything really flash to do it. Looks great with the ornament, but sometimes we're just going to make do with what we got. So thanks everybody. Glenda, you've made my day when you say that you would have a go at all of them. I will see you next week for another not live, free online class. Don't forget to like this video, leave comments, whatever you like. I do read all your comments. Don't forget that. So thanks everybody, and I actually reply to all your comments. So thanks everybody. I appreciate you dropping by tonight.